At first, Heather Lewis thought Maple Ridge would be the quiet place she and her father needed. After her injury ended her career as a K-9 officer, she just wanted somewhere peaceful to heal. Their little one-story home sat on an old lot built before the HOA's borders even existed. They were legally exempt, and they had the papers to prove it. But none of that mattered to Susan Whitaker, the self-appointed queen of Maple Ridge and its HOA president. Susan showed up the day they moved in, fake smile plastered on her face, clipboard in hand, blazer too bright to be friendly. "First dues are $200, she said, not even pretending to ask. Her eyes flicked to Heather's customized van, which had a K-9 hero sticker on the back. "That sticker's an eyesore," she sniffed. Heather's father, Tom, calmly showed her the deed. "This property's not under HOA jurisdiction," he said. Susan's smile vanished. "We'll see about that." A week later, a letter appeared taped to their door. It claimed Heather's van violated HOA rules: too many vehicles, sticker too flashy, park too long. "Garage it or face fines," it read. Heather laughed bitterly. "That van has my ramp. It's how I live. And we don't answer to her." She called Susan directly. "This is disability-related and legally protected," she said flatly. Susan replied coldly. "Rules apply to everyone, Miss Lewis. Fix it, or we will." The next morning, Heather called from physical therapy, stranded. Her van had been towed. Tom raced across town to a dusty impound yard and paid $500 to retrieve it. The wheelchair ramp had a fresh scratch. "This wasn't here yesterday," Heather said quietly. She didn't need a badge to smell corruption. "I think Susan's in bed with that tow company." Tom installed a cheap security camera on their porch, just in case. 2 nights later, it caught Susan creeping through their yard in a hoodie at 1 a.m., snapping photos of the ramp and van. "She's obsessed," Tom muttered. But Heather wasn't shaken. She had contacts. She emailed Jenna Myers, a blogger who exposed crooked HOAs. Then she called Chris Ramirez, her old K-9 partner. "Can you dig into the tow yard?" she asked. Chris called back the next day. "It's owned by Greg Carter, Susan's college buddy. They're splitting the money from every tow. It's a racket." Heather smiled grimly. Time to bring this into the light. But Susan wasn't finished. A blizzard hit the town a week before the next HOA meeting. Heather ventured out for coffee, parked legally with her sticker half covered in snow. When she came back, her van was gone again. Towed. This time, the fee was $600 and the van had a dent in the door. "She's trying to break me," Heather whispered to Tom. "But she has no idea who she's dealing with." Heather texted Jenna. "Meeting's Tuesday." She towed me again. "Bring your phone." Jenna replied instantly. "Live stream's coming. Let's burn her whole empire down." The Maple Ridge Community Center overflowed with tension. Folding chairs creaked under nervous neighbors. Susan stood smug at the front, gavel in hand. "No property is exempt," she declared, brushing off Heather's paperwork like lint. But Heather wasn't backing down. She rolled into the room, wearing her K-9 uniform, metals polished, shoulders square. Chris walked beside her, and his German shepherd, Titan, padded quietly at his side. The room fell silent. Even Susan blinked. Tom stepped forward, dropped a folder on the table. "Here's our deed. 1994 survey. Your rules don't apply." Jenna, recording from the back, captured every word. Then Chris spoke. "We've reported multiple improper tows. We're investigating Susan's connection to the impound company." The crowd shifted. Murmurs spread. A quiet voice from the back, Maria Gomez, spoke up. "They towed my car for a school sticker. Cost me $300. Then came more stories. Mr. Naidu's truck. Lisa Danielle's sedan. All gone for petty reasons." The room erupted. Susan's face flushed. "Order," she barked, slamming her gavel until it cracked in her hand. But it was too late. Jenna's stream was blowing up. Thousands watched as Susan unraveled. Mrs. Ellison, the HOA treasurer, squinted at the documents in front of her. "Why are all the tows authorized by you, Susan?" she asked. Another board member whispered about sketchy payments. Susan stammered, her composure crumbling. The room turned cold. Heather and Tom exchanged a look. They had won. Right then and there, the board voted. Refunds for all the tows Susan had authorized. Unanimous. And a second vote removing Susan as president. No objections. She stormed out, muttering threats about lawyers, but no one followed. That night, Jenna's blog exploded. "Tow Scam Queen of Maple Ridge" made headlines. Portland media picked it up. Police opened a fraud investigation. Greg Carter flipped almost immediately, handing over texts, emails, and receipts. Susan's reign was collapsing in real time. A week later, Mr. Naidu knocked on their door. "We want you to lead the new neighborhood committee, Heather," he said. "No more dictators." She smiled. "Let's make it fair." Neighbors came by that weekend to help repair the van. Maria brought tools. The Vega twins offered paint. Even Mrs. Ellison showed up with cookies. They laughed as they sanded the scratches and planned a potluck. That night, the yard filled with tables, tacos, and kids chasing Titan. Tom raised a glass. To real neighbors. 6 months later, Maple Ridge was unrecognizable. HOA membership became optional. People smiled again. The local park got new wheelchair swings and smoother paths. Heather's committee made it happen. And in the middle of it all, Heather adopted a goofy puppy named Scout. She trained him to open doors and bring her phone. She also hosted free workshops at the community center, teaching folks how to fight back against predatory HOAs. At a summer cookout, Scout barked playfully as kids chased him around. Heather wheeled through the crowd, trading jokes and hugs. Tom watched her, eyes full. She'd turned pain into power. When he raised a toast to her, the crowd cheered. Maple Ridge wasn't ruled by fear anymore. It was home. Their home. And no one, not even a clipboard queen, was going to take that away again.